name, Michelle Nunez. I'm 17 years old and my favorite color is red. Sorry, I know you didn't ask for my favorite color, but if you're going to write a story about me, you have to know that my favorite color is red. I was born on October 31st, 2000, to Patrick and Olivia Nunez. My mother had complications with me during pregnancy. I didn't have air for 1 minute and 17 seconds, but I made it. I got strong and started living life like a normal kid. Normal kid. No one else would agree with me on that, but I thought I was pretty damn normal. As American author and feminist Marin French once said, "Love is insanity. It is taking over a rational and lucid mind by delusion and self-destruction. You lose yourself. You have no power over yourself. You can't even think straight." Further, research from independent.co posits that falling in love may feel like a meeting of hearts and minds, but really, it's a kind of temporary insanity driven by hormones. Michelle, who is grappling with her newly formed relationship with her teacher, relays her unrequited love, leaving us wondering, how far will she go? School of Innocence by Kirsty Thomas. Since my parents almost lost me, they kind of treated me like a science project for the first 10 years of my life. I was smaller than all of my classmates. I was different in a lot of ways. And that's not an excuse, it's just a fact. There are things in life that are BS excuses, and then there are facts. It's a fact that I'm in prison. It's a fact that my loving parents who coddled me all my life hadn't conceived me since the day I got here. I am a woman, a daughter, and a killer. I write letters to my family and friends, the few that I have left. My family is like the mob. You don't go against them. You just don't. But I did. In my mind, I was thinking that if I could save my mother from a trial, that she would appreciate and understand it. I mean, why have a trial? I did every single count of my charges. 33 felony counts. Kind of incredible, actually. Let's see if I can name them all. That turned into a game when I got arrested. 11 counts of first-degree murder, which means it was all premeditated and planned. Which it was. 21 counts of child endangerment, one for each of my classmates that I held at gunpoint. I didn't think that was fair. If I get charged with murder, I shouldn't be charged with endangering the people that didn't make it out. And a few counts of stalking for a grand total of 33. When I picked up my schedule my senior year and saw that I finally had Mr. Phelps for AP English 4, I came home and cried. Not because of the class or because he was our teacher, but because I knew I wouldn't be able to hide my love for him anymore. My freshman year, I came in and he said, "I can't wait until your senior year when you're with me every single day." That's when I knew he was the one. For 3 years straight, I came by his room, said hello, joined the science club. I even became the manager of the softball team so I can be with him more and more, as many hours or minutes or seconds that I could. See, I collected things that I made for a scrapbook for him. After I was arrested, I asked my mother if she could give it to him for me. I asked her to do one thing, just one. And she couldn't even do that. She said that the judge made it very clear that I was to have no contact with him. 490 pages of my committed love for him. He was the first love of my life. Parking passes, receipts from all the restaurants that he went to, shoe boxes. I even made a blanket about his throwaways and slept with it every night. Pictures of his family that I took from the bushes. Pictures of his bedroom. His bathroom. And him. 3,064 pictures of him. I was so proud of that scrapbook. It was dedicated to our love. You know, he would look at me in class and his eyes said he wanted me and I wanted him. He would call on me in class, but only when he knew I knew the answer. He gave me lunch money one day when I asked him. I mean, I had money, but I just wanted to see if he loved me. He did. On that Monday, I decided that I was going to ask him to take me to prom. This was my moment. He said no. That it was inappropriate and crossing the line of student-teacher to ask me. But I told him. I told him all the things that I had done and all the ways that I was committed to our relationship. He said we didn't have a relationship. That he was my teacher and that was it. He told me that I needed help. How could you do this to me? I dedicated my life to you. The hours I've spent on us, I saved myself for you. I remember the bell rang, and I ran home, wrapped myself in his blanket, and cried for hours. The next day, I took my father's gun to school with me. He was going to love me. We were going to die like Romeo and Juliet. That is the kind of love I wanted. The kind of love where they would die to be with each other. I walked in his room, walked up to his desk. Don't you see the love I have for you? Tell me you love me. Tell me. And he looked at me, he grabbed my hand. You have to stop. I am your teacher, nothing more. Nothing more. Nothing more. I took the gun out of my bag and started shooting. The sound of the bullets coming out of the gun was like a melody of a song my mom would sing to me when I had a bad dream. It always made me feel better. It made me smile. By this time, most of the class had run out, and those that were there were either dead or dying. And there was red, the blood on the floor, all over the desk, dripping from my clothes. It was the most beautiful red I'd ever seen. I love red. It's my favorite color. Mr. Phelps? I know you're down there. Put your hands down. I love you. I did all of this for you. In Romeo and Juliet, they killed themselves out of love. You taught me that. And I'm willing to do that for you. You said there is no greater love story told than this, but ours is so much better. And I shot him. There never was a story more bold than this of Juliet and her Romeo. That's why I know that he's the one. Things like this, you just know.